Ladies and gentlemen, we are now set to meet our next speaker to talk about future proof of your business with omnichannel strategies. We have somebody here from Klaviyo, a proud sponsor of EEE Miami. They're a world-leading email and SMS marketing automation platform dedicated to accelerating revenue and customer connection for online businesses using the channels they own, like email, web, and mobile. We are pleased to have Navin Jain, has been with Klaviyo for over 3 years and has been focused on SMS since it launched in 2019. He has seen how important this own channel is for brands to really set themselves apart and why we're leveraging SMS with email drives the best subscriber experience. Ladies and gentlemen, a nice warm welcome to Navin Jain, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to stand over here for now. And thankfully, they gave me two things so I can know what to do with my hands. So as I mentioned, or as it was introduced, my name is Navin Jain. I have been with Klaviyo for 4+ years now. A little bit about Klaviyo. We are a marketing automation platform that helps businesses connect with their subscribers in the most meaningful manner. When I joined Klaviyo, I was around employee 100. Klaviyo's up to about 1,500 employees today, which is amazing to see. We had 6,000 customers. We have about 120,000 paying customers today. Really excited to be a part of this, and thank you to the Absolute Web team for having me. So today, the reason why Klaviyo is here is because brands lack ownership of their data. Paid social is really a black box. You don't know who purchased your products, how your customers interacted with your brand, how often they visit, what they're doing on your site. Unfortunately, you don't have that information. Budget, it's incredibly expensive. We all know we've all seen the changes that have taken place with the algorithms that are there. Cost alone, it's increased by 30%, 30% goes to third-party marketplaces, and the acquisition rates continue to go higher and higher. And our customers are looking for ways to own their channels, and email, SMS, those are two ways that they can do that. And why do they want to do that? It's because of the relationships. They're unpredictable today. I don't know how many businesses we've spoken with that were using a third-party solution to help them market their brand, and that third-party solution just cut them off. I mean, I've had friends personally reach out to me telling me that they were using Facebook advertising, and Facebook shut them down and they didn't know the reason. They want to find a way to own their channels and own their relationships. Today, current technologies don't allow for deep personalization. You look at this stack over here, I don't even think I can name everything that's over there anymore, but it's truthfully just difficult and complex to use. Unfortunately, it requires months to implement, and I think I can speak for everyone here. You don't have months to put a solution together. It doesn't allow you to segment and target the way that you want to, and most of the time, it requires developers or engineering teams to help you get that set up. On this side, point solutions offer limited data functionality, which forces brands to mostly batch and blast. And if anyone knows marketing, segmentation, targeting, that's what's the most important thing for businesses to be successful. You also don't have real-time data when you're using those point solutions. Point solutions and independent channels strategies are setting you up to fail. There's a lot going on here. I'm going to try to move so you can see everything, but reviews, surveys, email, segment, there's so many different solutions that every organization is using. You want to find a way to leverage all of this information and build a single customer profile. And the reason for this is because today's shoppers want to choose how they interact with brands. I personally I don't know how many SMS programs I've signed up for. It's probably 5,000 in the last 2.5 years. Verizon has told me to stop signing up, but I will continue to do it. They want to let you know how they want to be interacted with. Is it email? Is it SMS, social, or push? How many people here would like to choose that when they're hearing from the companies that they're buying from? All right, most people did. Topics. Do you want to get a text message every time you have a promotion? Do you want to get a text message when you have a support question? Do you want lifestyle content coming to you? That's what's really important by asking your subscribers how they want to hear from you and what do they want to hear about. Smart recommendations. This was brought up beforehand, but being able to recommend products for me based off of my purchase history, based off of how I've engaged with the different channels that you have. That's what's the most important thing. And then timing. How many times has, we heard earlier today about customers, if you treat them poorly the first time, they're not coming back. How many times have you looked to buy something and it wasn't in stock? You signed up, you got an email letting you know that it's back in stock, but they ran out again. That's when, if you can leverage the right channel to get the right message out at the right time, you're going to build the best subscriber experience. So there are certain topics where email is great. Long form content, promotions that you're going to be running for the following week or for the next month. If you have content that people should follow up on, such as like a review, if you want them to fill that out at a later time, something that they can save, email works great for. Whereas SMS marketing is really great for urgent content that you need to send. That back in stock message, that's something that you should send out through SMS, and you should give your subscribers the opportunity to hear from you through that channel. More and more people want to interact via text. So I'm going to ask this question. I'm assuming I know the answer, but how many people here have signed up for an SMS marketing program from a business that they buy from? All right, better question because I can't see everything right now. How many people haven't? All right, so we have a few people that haven't. Based on the research that our team has done, working with the hundreds of thousands of customers that we work with, 75% of consumers say they're open to receiving texts from brands that they care about. That's, I think, the most important thing, is that you're going to have subscribers that are highly engaged with your content if you leverage SMS marketing. The numbers alone prove there's 3.5 billion people in the world that leverage SMS or that communicate via text. This was something that was really interesting to me, and I'm blocking it, so let me move out of the way. 75% of customers prefer to receive SMS versus retargeting or social ads. I think that's one of the most important things. Make sure that you're investing your money, your marketing budget, in the right channels. Very few businesses have extra or surplus in their marketing budgets. I don't know if anyone here does. If you do, kudos to you, but most people don't. Spend the money in the right channels so that you can connect with your subscribers. And then the other thing that's really powerful, the click-through rate. SMS has an 8 times higher click-through rate than email. Now, what's holding brands back from leveraging this channel? Fear of litigation. If anyone has heard of TCPA, the Telephone Consumer Protection Act, you've heard that a SMS message that goes to someone who has not given you consent, you can be fined up to $1,500 per text. So if you send a message to 10 people, that's $15,000. That's a lot of money. No one wants to be spending that. There are too many tools and channels. Every individual here is probably running their tech stack, probably has at least 5, 7 solutions that you're leveraging. There's just too many things to maintain. Something that we've been seeing is that there's conflicting data. If you're using 2 different solutions for email and SMS, or the omnichannel approach that we're focusing on, one solution may be trying to take credit for a sale, whereas the other solution is the one that drove that. You may be seeing higher engagement in one channel versus another, but you're not able to actually rectify that because the information isn't talking to each other. Because the solutions aren't talking to each other. And then the other big thing is people don't know where to start. Let me ask here, for those individuals that run e-commerce brands, how many people are doing SMS today? Okay, most people are. That's great. When you got started, did you know what you needed to do? A little. I'm seeing a little bit. That's the biggest thing that I think customers tell us, is that they don't know where to start, and that's where Klaviyo can help. Now, I am coming from Klaviyo. Klaviyo was founded in 2012. We have 120,000 customers. I am not going to tell you that email is still not the #1 channel. It absolutely is. I have been selling email. I've been selling SMS forever. Email is basically that cricket that just never dies. People can say there's these flash in the pans that, like, this is the next thing we should be doing. This is the next thing. This is going to overtake email. That's not true. Email is still the #1 channel for the majority of e-commerce businesses. 81% of online shoppers in a recent study say they prefer to receive most brand communications via email. Keyword there is most. Again, give them the option to hear from you through different channels. Average ROI of 122%. What's really interesting is shoppers spend 138% more when marketed to through email compared to those who don't. And then there's an interesting stat in regards to those brands that have an AOV between 100 and 500, that they recover 4 to 5% of their abandoned carts on average with email. So I'm not going to tell anyone that email is still not the number one channel and that you should be leveraging this. What I'm telling you is that you should be doing both together. SMS and email are just better together. It allows you to drive more revenue, save more carts, and allows for more conversations. I have a dog at home, Coco. I actually ran out of his food one time. He was not happy. I was able to text the brand and be like, hey, how do I get this shipped to me faster? They're like, we can expedite it for you. You pay a little bit more. Or you could go into this store and pick it up today. That was amazing. I can't do that via email. With SMS marketing, that allows you to do that. It allows for smarter targeting and segmentation. What I mean by this is, if you're using two different solutions, do you know who's engaging with email or SMS and who's engaging with which one more? You don't. With Klaviyo, we've had thousands of customers leverage this, and I have taken it as my own. We had a customer control freak. They were using another SMS platform. They moved over to Klaviyo, and they were able to reduce their spend on SMS by 38% with one simple change. In the previous solution that they were using, anyone who abandoned their cart was getting a text message. When they moved to Klaviyo, they decided anyone who has opened or clicked an email at least once in the last 7 days should not receive a text. They made the assumption that if someone's engaging with email content, why waste a text message on them? So they were able to reduce their spend by 38% while still increasing their revenue by 8%, which was phenomenal. And all they literally had to do was put a conditional split in their abandoned cart flow, and that was it. That's how easy it is when you're leveraging SMS and email together. It also allows for superior attribution. When you're leveraging one solution for email and SMS, you can see which channel is actually driving that success for you. Too often, if you're using multiple solutions, think about it this way. You send a text through another platform, and someone clicks on it but doesn't buy. And then you send an email through your email provider, hopefully Klaviyo, but whoever it is, and they click on it and buy. That SMS solution doesn't know that they bought because of the email. They're going to take credit for that. Whereas if you're using a single solution for both, you can know, okay, SMS drove this sale, email drove this sale, I can further invest in the right channel. That's what Klaviyo's goal is to help our customers drive the most revenue by investing in the right channels for them. And then better compliance and consent management. It's too important, I said, from a legal perspective to have the right consent, but also you want to know, do you want to hear about our promotions through text or email? Do you want your shipping updates through text or email? That's where, if you have a single profile, you can ask those questions and you can get that information very easily. So how do we like to think about email and SMS together? Like I've been talking about, you want to know the right channel. Owning your data allows you to identify your subscribers' preferences and how they want you to communicate with them. That, I think, is the first thing that we all need to do. If you're leveraging email and SMS today, which I know many individuals said that they are here, I hope you're asking, do you want us to communicate to you via email or SMS? And if you can, ask them, what types of communications do you want through these different channels? I mentioned this already, but special delivery. If you're dropping a new product, if you're running a flash sale, if there's items that come back in stock, leverage SMS because that is the more urgent channel. If you have, as Gorgeous mentioned this morning, help desk. If there is someone with a question, respond to them immediately, help them out. Those can be a revenue generating channel for you. And it allows you to continue to service your customers in the most meaningful manner. And then it just improves efficiency for you as a business. By merging attribution models and testing channel performance, you can see which ones work better. I've had so many customers ask, like, does email or SMS work better in a browse abandonment flow? So if someone comes to your site, doesn't buy, you want to target them. I don't have the answer. I tell them to test it. Create a flow in your account, put 50% or put a conditional split that says if they've consented to SMS, 50% get an email, 50% get a text, and see which one works better. Klaviyo doesn't claim to have all the answers. What we want to do is give you the solutions to test it out on your own. Now, I've been talking about flows. Flows are what we call automations or journeys, but multi-channel flows allow you to combine email and SMS to increase your cart recovery rates and drive loyalty. This is something that I think is so important, and I mentioned at the beginning, one of the fears is, how do I get started? For those that have been leveraging Klaviyo for email, all you need to do is just drag an SMS card into your flow, and that's it. It is very simple to set up. Timely or transactional messages. So again, based on the timelines of what you have, if you have a flash sale that ends in 6 hours, send a text to those that you can. Another thing that I like to recommend as a best practice, if you're running a promotion, one of the ways to increase your SMS list is by saying, for those that become an SMS subscriber, we're going to give you early access to these promotions. You don't have to give extra discounts. I've spoken to so many brands that told me, look, Navin, we don't have the margins to give additional discounts for SMS, but we want to grow that list. One of the ways to do that is by giving them, like I said, the early access, make them feel special about that. So timely doesn't necessarily mean the urgency, but it's also like how quickly can you get that message to them. Special offers. So this, I think, is something a lot of businesses, when they're getting started, make the mistake on. They basically take the same email content that they have and they just put it into the SMS editor. That's not the right way to do it. You don't just replicate your email content and put it in SMS. There are two different ways to look at it. Again, email, you can have multiple images, multiple links. With SMS, you want to have a clear call to action to make it easier for the individual to move forward with what you're offering them. And then conversations. Connect with customers who have questions about their purchases. Again, Coco loves the fact that I can text his pet food company and get his food as quickly as I need to. There are so many times that individuals have told me that this is the reason why they continue to use SMS, is because they can have those one-on-one conversations with their subscribers. I was working with a jewelry brand, and they mentioned to me that they leverage conversations as a sales tool for their team. They basically have a browse abandonment flow. So again, if someone looks at the same product, I think their split was 3 times in the last 7 days, and doesn't purchase, they send them a text message if they have consent to say, hey, do you have any questions? Feel free to give us a call. We can answer them for you. We can put you in touch with a consultant. And that has turned into a revenue driver for them, because now their sales team have more individuals that they can reach out to, because those people are asking, yeah, we have questions. So the conversations piece is why this is so important. So Shoe Sensation, I just wanted to include a couple examples here. So they were able to increase their list growth by 46% after moving from a SMS competitor to Klaviyo, and they saw a 116% year-over-year revenue increase. One of the reasons why they chose to move to Klaviyo was because of the attribution that I was talking to you about. They had to use too many different systems to know what was working and what was not working. Their teams were running Excel files to try to understand this, Google Analytics and everything, and it wasn't allowing them to be as efficient as they wanted to. When they moved to Klaviyo, they saw that this was the optimized solution for them and that they had precise attribution within the tool. They were able to boost revenue on days that were identified as slow for email. So I've spoken to so many people here that have shared that, leadership says if there is a slow day, we need to send more messages. What types of messages do you need to send? Do you want to send emails? Do you want to send SMS? If you have it in a single solution, you can leverage that together. It absolutely improved personalization for them. And this is something that I like to challenge businesses that I speak with, but you're going to find that you're going to send fewer messages if you're leveraging one solution for email and SMS together. Because if you can know that this person cares more about an email, then don't waste a text message on them. And vice versa. If they're not engaging with your email content, if you send 2 or 3 emails a month and they're not engaging for the last 2 months, try a text message. See if that works. It's a great way to understand if this individual should still even be on your list. Another really good example, Dagny Dover. They saw a 12,000x ROI when they brought SMS over to Klaviyo, and they're already using Klaviyo for email. They grew their SMS subscriber list to over 170,000 individuals in 1 year. What was really, really difficult for them was the acquisition cost with their previous solution. It just kept increasing, and they were not able to actually leverage the channel by communicating with their subscribers through SMS. When they consolidated into Klaviyo, they were able to say, okay, we can send fewer messages, but actually drive more revenue than what we were thinking about. Something that's also really interesting about them, they've seen tremendous results. They actually just got started with the pre-built flows that Klaviyo has in the tool itself. So if anyone here isn't familiar with Klaviyo, we have a library of probably 50 flows already built out, and they just started leveraging that to build the revenue that they were able to have from the channel. And now they just continue to launch new flows using the library that we have. So there are about 8,000 brands using Klaviyo for email and SMS together. The reasons why they're doing this, again, most people here are already doing SMS, which is great, but you need to collect subscribers. There are many ways to do that. Pre-built form libraries, click-to-join forms, the multi-step forms. That's something I'm going to absolutely call out. For anyone using Klaviyo or another solution, you should be leveraging the multi-step forms. Think about it as like the Netflix model. Are you going to sit there and watch a 10-hour movie? Probably not, but would you watch 10 one-hour episodes on Netflix in a single sitting? I have unfortunately done that, and I think most people have. That's the same thing with the multi-step forms. If you're asking too many questions on one form, if you're asking them their email, their phone number, their birthday, what channel do they want you to communicate with them, they're most likely not going to fill that out. Whereas if you're using a multi-step form, you can ask them, what is your email? What's your phone number? What's your birthday? If they fill all of that out, great. We have a profile with all of that information. If they don't, consecutively, we'll get their email, then their phone, then their birthday, then their preferred method. So that's one of the reasons why multi-step forms is so powerful and something I recommend any brand to do. And if you're using Klaviyo, we have pre-built ones to help you out with that. Iterate. It's almost silly. I have team members here that are going through A/B testing in our platform. We truly believe in A/B testing, not just for our customers, but Klaviyo itself. We are always A/B testing things. We're going to recommend you do that as well. A/B test your forms. A/B test the SMS content that you have. Something that's not possible if you're using a separate solution from Klaviyo for SMS, but split test email and email versus SMS. That, I think, is one of the best things that you can do with Klaviyo, is seeing, is email actually working or SMS? And then you can benchmark your performance against other Klaviyo customers. We are working with about 120,000 businesses. We take all of that data, anonymize it, and then we're actually building benchmarks in the tool so you can see how your business compares. And then in terms of scaling, there are so many features that Klaviyo continues to launch. These are probably outdated from the last Klaviyo product event that we have, but there are so many different ways that you can leverage the solution that it really allows you to grow with us. So if I can leave you with anything to remember, brands need to own their data and their relationships. That's the number one thing. If you don't, you can lose it and you're putting your business at risk. The other thing is shoppers want to be in control. I absolutely know the brands that I want to hear from and the brands that I don't want to hear from through SMS, and I'm going to give them that information. Email and SMS should not be competing. They should be working together. They should be playing together. Too many businesses say, okay, well, if I'm going to send this email, I'm not going to send this SMS. Or if I'm launching SMS, that means I don't need to. That's not true. They need to work together. This is when the strategy is so important that you want to know, okay, these are the right ones for email and this is the right one for SMS. And then attribution and compliance, it really should be in a single system. If you're using two different systems, then you can't be guaranteed that you know that this individual has given you the right consent or that this sale came from that solution. So that's what I have for today. I think I have a couple minutes for questions, if anyone has any questions.
Yeah, for flows in Klaviyo, how often do you recommend having SMS-only flows or email-only flows, or do you often have both in the same flow?
So the question was how often do you have email only flows, SMS only flows, or combine them? I think it is based on the business itself, but I'm a big believer in combining email and SMS together. I think you could have a conditional split in there that's very easy to say, like, is consented to receive SMS, and then send them down an SMS path. But also, don't just keep sending them SMS. Combine it back to the email flow. And our team is here. We can absolutely help you with that. But you can actually just drag it so they could get 1 or 2 text messages and then go back down the same email flow that you've built.
Do you see any difference in performance from SMS, like text-only messages versus MMS?
The question was, do you see any difference between SMS versus MMS, which is the images or GIFs? I think it's really dependent on the content that you're sending there. I think like for product launches back in stock, the MMS messages work really well. We do have some benchmark reports on our help center, so I'm happy to get that sent over to you if you want to follow up with us. But my personal opinion is 70% of your messages are going to be SMS. MMS will be about 30% of your messages. One more question?
Are you guys going to implement like a contact card for the SMS anytime soon?
Yeah. So the question was, are we going to have a contact card for SMS? Basically what that means is when someone signs up, you can send them a contact card so they can save it. That is absolutely something that our team is working on. We will follow up with the mobile team to find out when that's planned, but it's not just on the roadmap, it's actively being developed. Perfect. Thank you, everyone. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to us at the Klaviyo booth. We're here to help any way we can.